Hello, everybody, and welcome to our webinar. My name is Nuno. I'm the General Manager of Yourway Education. I will speak you a little bit more about Yourway during the webinar. Firstly, I want to present to you our student in Grenaa, Denmark, Artur. Thank you for joining us. And Artur, can you please give us a small presentation of you and the school where you are in Denmark?
Well, sure. So my name is Artur. I'm 17 years old right now, and I came to study to Denmark in 2023. I came to study as a pre-IB, right? I was studying in a normal public school, so also I came with a basic English, so my English wasn't that good. I feel that it's been improving since I've been here. So yeah, I also think that this school is a kind of school that everyone can get in. You just need to want to do it, of course. Well, should we put the PowerPoint?
Yeah, I will start here for you.
Okay. So here I have two pictures. One of them is me in front of the Grenaa plague, and it was the first day that I came to Denmark, and it was everything pretty good. The school makes sure to adapt everyone with kind messages and boarding, like welcome to your new home, and everyone makes sure you feel comfortable during your first day, as it's the day that you leave your parents, and that's the beginning of the new journey. The adaptation, which is the most important part, I would say, in a boarding school, is when you shouldn't be closed. It's the first days that you need to make sure to open yourself, make new friends, and make sure that you're gonna have someone to talk to, and it's gonna make your journey much easier than if you isolate yourself and you stay alone during this period of time. I think I have a picture here on the left. There is a picture that I went with my friends to the beach. For those who want to know, for example, what we can do, not talking about studying, of course, but in the meantime, we go to the beach when it's sunny, summer, good weather. Also on the right, I have a picture that we sometimes go Friday nights. We have the movie room, which we can play some video games or even watch a movie. And that's some of the things that we do in our free time. Talking about the boarding, I put it here 3 pictures. I have a picture of boarding on the right. It's the main building. We have other campuses as well, but this is the building I live in. In the middle, I have a picture of my room. I have a single room, and it comes with a sink, and a wardrobe, of course, a bed, a nightstand, and a table. So it pretty much has everything we need. Only thing that we don't have for our own usage is bathroom, but it's for everyone that lives in the floor. So men have their bathroom and girls have other bathroom. I think
this is your room?
Yes, in the middle it's my room. And also I have a small picture on the left, which is a pretty view that I think it would be cool to show everybody. Talking about boarding, about the staff mainly, I could say that the boarding staff in my school, which is the one I can talk about, is pretty much helpful. Everyone is really kind, and they make sure that you are feeling good. Also, in the beginning of the journey, when you come after a month, every student has a talk with the boarding staff. So when they ask you questions, how are you feeling? Have you had any issues with something? To make sure that you're feeling integrated in the boarding school, also in the school. The food in boarding, I could say, is also pretty good. much better than the food that I was used to eat in Portugal, which was I'm from. And yeah, I think that's it that I can talk about boarding. Next, I would like to talk about school.
Mm-hmm.
So we have my first picture is the picture of my school in front. Um, I would like to talk about that the school also makes sure that you feel integrated and every student has the opportunity to talk with each other, so people don't isolate themselves in small groups. And with that, like for example, last week we had an international day, which is every person from their country cooks something, and then everybody goes and tries and talks, which is really good to reunite everyone and have a good time together. On the right, I put it an example of a schedule that, for example, it was the last week.
Mm-hmm.
So as we can see, the maximum that I have school, it's until 3:40, which is for me is really good, as I used to have school every day from 8 to 5:30, and it was every day the same. And something here in Grenaa is that the schedule changes every week. So this is my schedule last week, and this week is already changed.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty flexible. There's days that you can sleep a bit more, that your classes starts, for example, at 11 and then finishes at 2, which is a small day. And then there's days like Monday that I start at 8:40 and ends at 3:40. Um, well, the school also offers some trips also for the students to get comfortable with each other. For example, in pre-IB, we did in the second week or third week, we did a trip all together to a place that we were all together, and we went to the beach, and you go with your classmates and you get to know them. Well, yeah, and in IB1 for now, we're gonna go for a Copenhagen trip, the whole IB1 class, and I'm looking forward. That I think is gonna be really fun. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's it from my presentation.
Thank you. Thank you. These trips are included
My
in
my,
the. You
my
have
what?
to. These trips the school offer are for free, are included, or you have a
No,
co-payment.
the trips have a cost, of
Mm-hmm.
course. Um, it also you can choose if you want to go or if
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
don't want to go, but I chose to go. I think it's gonna be really fun, and also to go with my friends, spend some time and take a break from studying as well. I think it's pretty good.
Sure, sure, sure. Thank you. So to put you in picture, Artur completed pre-IB, and now is IB1, and I'm going to talk a little, present our program, talk a little bit about your way, and then we will discuss a little bit in detail the pre-IB and then transition to IB. For those who are listening today, it will be very, very, very helpful, I believe. So just quick sound bites about Yourway. We are a family-owned and operated company. We are international, so we have offices in several countries. We can look at us as independent consultants specialized in high school. And here the IB curriculum is more and more popular for us. Here our offices, and I'm the manager of Yourway Iberia, and this webinar is we will talk a little bit more about in our Iberian framework. So offices in Barcelona, Madrid, Lisbon, and Porto. Some stats about our group, not only Iberian but other offices. We place 100, 120 students per year. So it's not a small operation. It's not a big operation. It's where we are comfortable to meet our students and have a personal relationship with them and the families. But not only IB, not only Denmark, we offer from 18 to 20 countries, have students in around 18, 20 countries per year. and depending of the country office, our percentages of IB students can vary. For example, countries like Hungary and Portugal, it's around 25-30%, but in Spain nowadays, mostly almost 90% of our students are studying on the IB and IB Denmark. Why? Why is the one of the most chosen IB programs? Firstly, because of the country. Denmark is a small, safe country. Also has one of the big attractions of this particular program is that we are in public schools, but with a boarding. So it's a concept that usually we only can mix together with in a private framework. But in Denmark, we have a very unique framework, very unique context. There is a public school, like Artur said. They are not elite schools. They are not. You can apply, and if you have decent grades and decent English, you can have a chance to be qualified. Not only your grades, but all your past, what you want to do in the future, your maturity to live on a boarding school and share your traditions, your culture with other students as well. So as you are fit to adapt in a new environment is very important also in the application, and also because we have this is a program in public schools. The price is more affordable than the usual IB programs that are also only offered in private schools around the world. So here, and I asked Artur to be with us today and to talk about the very unique feature of our program in IB Denmark is you can start like Artur did in pre-IB. So we heard that Artur said that your English was not there yet for the IB, and during this pre-IB you had the chance to improve your English. This is one of the reasons why you can start in pre-IB. So even if you have, if you could theoretically progress into IB1, some students can opt to start in pre-IB because they will have more time to develop their English, and when they reach IB year 1, they will be very prepared and on top of their game to be in class and do homework and participate in school. The IB is not standing and like a bystander, get your notes and then memorize and then replicate what you memorize at home in a test. No, IBs will be different. I think we will have a chance to talk with Artur about the differences IB and to other school systems. But here in this slide, I just wanted to present the special uniqueness of the pre-IB in Denmark. So in Denmark, like in other countries, so we have a framework for what we call the last school years. So in Portugal, the first slide we call it secundário, the high school, to 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. In Denmark is the same. So for the Danish system, it's pretty much like the Portuguese one. We have 3 is the last cycle. In Denmark is not mandatory. So in Portugal is mandatory to complete 12 years. In Denmark is only mandatory to complete 9 years of schooling. But the last 3 years, the high school diploma is achieved in the same 3 years. And what we call Form 1 in Denmark corresponds to our 10th grade. So the pre-IB is nothing more and nothing less than the first year of high school in Denmark, so year 10. It has the same curriculum, but in English than the traditional national curriculum Danish taught in Danish. So the Danish students can in Form 1 decide if they study in English, and this is the route for the best route for the IB diploma to strengthen their level in English, or just to take the normal high school diploma in Danish. After the first year, students can decide which route. So you can start in pre-IB and then change to the national curriculum, or vice versa. So because the IB diploma is only 2 years and the high school in Denmark is 3 years, they come up with this solution to call it pre-IB, but the name, we call it pre-IB because it's easy for us to refer to this specific year, and you will find this mentioned in the application, in testimonials, students' testimonials, different variety of material, and the websites of the school. Of course, they call it pre-IB, but mainly is the Form 1 first years of high school in Denmark. So this allows us to have this unique feature to start, instead of we start a program of IB diploma of 2 years, we can make an IB diploma of 3 years. So, for example, with the 9th grade finished in Portugal, we can apply for the 10th grade already and start the journey already in year 10. We don't need to wait another year to start in IB1. And also the uniqueness of starting in pre-IB is for, if some reason some students may don't want to compromise for 2 years or 3 years studying abroad. So the pre-IB, and we have some students doing this design, could be an excellent exchange year already in the IB framework. It's not in the middle years program, so there's a distinction. What we call pre-IB in Denmark is under the Danish curriculum laws. It's not under the IBO laws. So it's not an IB program per to say. The equivalent would be the middle years program diploma. It's not this kind of program we are talking about. We are just talking about this very specific, and that's why Denmark is so popular among our students, and they just find to have in their system a year 10 that is equivalent to year 10 in several other countries, but taught in English. Why is taught in English? Because the Danish students can get enrolled in IB diploma in a public school, and then they will need to complete the 3 years of high school. As likewise, the students follow the national curriculum. And in Spain, we have the slide below the Portuguese framework. These are prints that I took from the websites from the government that we can send you all this information if you want to know more. So in Spain, it's equivalent to cuarto de ESO. So el cuarto de ESO, el primero de secundaria, what is the Form 1, so 10th grade in Denmark, is equivalent to cuarto de ESO en España. O sea, entonces, you can do your year 10, cuarto de ESO, in Spain, and then apply to IB in Denmark or any other programs, or you can start already, instead of cuarto de ESO in Spain, you can do already year 10 in Denmark in English, what we call pre-IB, and then either progress to IB diploma, or if you want to return to Spain or England or any other countries, you can convalidate this pre-IB as a year 10, as a cuarto de ESO in Spain. This is the unique feature of the pre-IB. again, you don't have to start in pre-IB. If you don't have a good English and your grades are not that good, so the schools will place you in pre-IB. So if you cannot meet the requirements to go directly to IB, because IB is a very demanding high school diploma, then you can start in pre-IB. Or if you don't have the age, you don't only have 9 years of schooling, you only have nono ano in Portugal and terceiro de ESO in Spain, then you can already start your journey abroad by year 10, this pre-IB that we are discussing here. And Artur started in Grenaa in pre-IB. And here the slide to show you what really is the pre-IB is nothing more and nothing less than the regular year 10 in a I would say European framework. So you have in year 10 you have the mathematics, social studies, you have a first language and the second language, you have history, arts, and physical education. So if you look at European curriculums in year 10, Portugal, Spain, France, these will not vary that much. So what would change dramatically is year 11 and year 12. The IB diploma is year 11 and year 12. And here in the pre-IB, that is year 10 in the Danish framework, we have a syllabus that is pretty common. We could find this syllabus in several other countries in Europe. That's why then by law then you can convalidate, and by law you can switch in Denmark from the pre-IB from the IB route, so studying in English, to the Danish route, national studying in Danish, and then you can switch up to year 10. After year 11 and 12, you have to decide if you do IB or you do the national curriculum, because they will be very different. And one will be still in the Danish law, and the other will be in IBO law. So this pre-IB is a very unique school year abroad. I will ask just to my last slide before, and then after, of course, you have the subject that is a regular syllabus, like the year 10 in Denmark, year 10 in Portugal, in year 10 in several countries, but you are already instilled in the IB framework. So you start to connect what is IB. Of course, you are on an IB school. You probably will start making friends with students who are already in IB1. So you will have, after you complete this year, you will have a much better understanding what is IB, what the subjects you should choose, what you would like to study in your high school, and then to progress to the university. So to speak, is a very good adaptation to what is the IB diploma. And they will have some seminars and some opportunities. They will talk about the pre-TOK, the pre-CAS, the mini extended essay. So subjects that you will, and really concepts that you will only connect in an IB diploma. But nonetheless, you in this year 10 in Denmark, you are starting to have some grasp of what is IB, and it will be important for you to get the insight you need to choose wisely, because in IB it's very important that you choose wisely your subjects. Do you agree with my statement, Artur?
I do agree. Also, I would like to add something that in IB1, when you're about to choose your subjects and you choose them, so when you come to the school, you know what are the subjects and you don't know if you will like them, you always have the opportunity to try them out. And if you feel that maybe it's not the subjects you were expecting or that's what you want to study, you can go to the IB office, to the school office, and talk with the director, which is Ike in my school, and you can talk to change the class. You tell your issue, you say that maybe it's not what you expected, and there's always the opportunity to change for another subject, or for example, if you choose something high level, for example, maths high level, and you feel that it's too difficult, you have always the opportunity to drop. So yeah, that's something that the school helps with, that it's not what you choose before coming to the school, that's it, what you're gonna study. You have always the opportunity to change. That's what I wanted to add.
And from your experience, from the last year of pre-IB and the first semester, you already completed the first semester of IB1. What is what was the? Can you compare the degree of difficulty? So the pre-IB was easier than the first semester of IB. The same level of how could you compare the pre-IB and the first semester of IB1?
I think in pre-IB it was easier than what I expected, because the expectations are always really difficult, like high when you're studying in another school, and then you think, oh, I'm going to study the IB program. Well, my expectations were that the IB will be much more difficult. But well, I came to pre-IB, so I think that's I already see the difference. Of course, I've studied already the IB for 5 months, and I can clearly see that there's much more work to do. Also more oral presentations, so the teachers also require more from you than from pre-IB. But yeah, I think also I wanted to say that the pre-IB is kind of a preparation for the actual IB. So in pre-IB is the year that you try all the subjects, a bit of everything. So it kind of helps you to know what are the subjects that you liked in pre-IB and what are the subjects that you will choose to study in IB. Yes.
From this pre-IB, what was the subjects that you found interesting or more difficult, or for example the mathematics in pre-IB compare with Portugal in this case? Did you find it more difficult, challenging, or basically the same level?
I feel that I don't think I can say if it's the same level, but one thing I know, I improved my maths grades, maths, and I think everything. I think I improved my grades since I came from Portugal here. I could say that also it's a different type of motivation when you're studying alone and you have your friends with you, and you see that everyone is studying and no one wants to leave the school, so you're like, you know that it's your obligation to study, and you're without your parents, so you kind of don't have the pressure from the parents. You know that you need to do it, and that's it. So I think also the teachers, I feel a big difference from the teachers. They help you a lot. They always up to help you. If you're doing some kind of homework and you don't know, you can write them on our app from the school, which is lecture, and they will answer you and try to help you. So I feel that, yes, I think the teachers is actually the main thing that helped me, I guess.
So in a way, you changed the kind of a mental framework when you switch from the living with your family, attending to school, from
Definitely.
a boarding school where you are with your friends, classmates. So you are more empowered and you are more mature in a way of studying. Did I understand correctly what?
Yeah, completely.
Viewpoint?
Yes, completely. Also, as we all in the same situation, everyone wants to get the good grades. Also, here I'm studying IB1 right now, so I have friends from IB2, so it's the next year. So they did IB1 last year. If I have any questions, anything that I don't understand, I will always go and ask some friend from IB2, and they will explain me if any teacher is not available at the moment. So I think with studying is pretty much everything is available for what we need to study here.
And what about your course selection for this year? Which subjects are you studying in IB1? Firstly, in pre-IB, you cannot choose your subjects or you have some limited choice. For example, in languages, correct? You can choose, or in the case of Grenaa, the school that you're studying, Spanish or French or German. So there's an option, but all the other are mandatory, right? Visual arts, physics, history, physical education.
No. The only thing, yes, everything is right, but the subjects that we have the choice to choose is between the Spanish, French, and German. We can choose that, but also visual arts or music.
Okay. Yes, sorry, it was my mistake. Yeah, I was reading.
The school offers visual arts or music. And all the others are mandatory.
And if you don't like, for example, visual arts or music, can you take a second language, a third language to speak, or you just have two languages?
I don't think that's in pre-IB. In pre-IB, you need to choose one language plus English, which is mandatory, or visual arts or music. Yes.
Or music, yeah.
But one thing I want to say is that in IB1, if you don't like visual arts or music, you don't take them. So right now, for example, I don't have either visual arts or music. I don't have any of those subjects.
So you chose 5 subjects from the group 1 to 5. So in the first group, which subject are you studying?
I don't think I could mention by groups. I can just say all the subjects I have. Yes, but right now I have ESS high level, I have English high level, and I have
English is in group 1 or group B? Is the first
I
literature?
Have English. I have
literature.
English A HL. And ESS HL and economics HL high level. Then I have Spanish B standard. Also, I don't know if it might be a good information from people from Spain. In my class, which is B standard level, it's mixed with high level. So if you're a native speaker, you can actually take Spanish because there's something that I have people in my class, they're Spanish and they take Spanish. So it's an easy grade for them, of course. And you have the opportunity to give more time to the other subjects, for example, maths, economics, physics, chemistry. I think that's a pretty good idea. That's why I chose Spanish as a Portuguese speaker, as it's gonna give me more time for the more difficult subjects. Yes.
So you have which is the science, the natural science subject that you have?
I have ESS high level.
Individuals and societies. Okay. And you have another.
And biology.
Biology. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And what is the subjects which is that you like more? Which subject do you like more?
I would say my favorite subjects right now is economics. It's also the subjects that I was looking forward in pre-IB because we had this short amount of time just to try it out. As I said, pre-IB is to prepare you for IB and to see what subjects you like. We had economics. I liked a lot the subjects, and I knew since then that I would be choosing economics in IB1.
Aside of the core subject that you have to take for pre-IB, you can have some tasters in IB subjects, for example, economics, or it's in social studies. It's here on pre-IB social studies, or do you have some taster of would be economics in IB?
So social studies, I wouldn't say that it's economics, but it also talks about some topics. But we do have some short amount of time where we have economics. So I would say pre-economics, as we had pre-OK. So yes, it's something like this.
So during the IB, you could realize and come to feel to rational that you liked economics. So it was before already in Portugal that you wanted to take this to this pathway, or just in pre-IB last year that you decided that you are feeling motivated to study economics and you like economics?
It was actually last year in pre-IB in Portugal. I didn't have I had no clue that I like economics. So that's why I actually think pre-IB is really useful for you to try out all the small subjects. And from there, then you choose what you really like. So you don't need to choose without knowing if you're gonna like or not. So you already have a perspective of what you will study. Yeah.
And another question that we get often: your maths level. Which maths do you have? The analysis, interpretation, or the applied?
I started IB1 with maths AA high level, which I ended up dropping right now for standard. Yes, that's it.
And do you like it? What is practice? Your relation with the maths? Do you like the subject? It's different from what you were experiencing of studying maths in Portugal, for example. The methodology, exercises. How do you regard, for example, maths?
For sure, my relationship with maths got much better since I came here.
That's good.
I could say that my grades were really low at maths and something that I'm not happy about. But since I came here pre-IB last year, I feel that the help of the teachers, the way they explain, also the fact that they hand in every week an assignment for you to do or some homework to practice, it's higher my grades a lot, at least last year.
That's good to know.
I ended up the maths exam with a 5 out of 7, which wasn't something that happened in Portugal. So I think it's small things like the teachers try to put effort to help you and small exercises for you to practice. Yeah.
So you had a good grades in pre-IB, and then you progressed to IB1. Do you know any student who didn't achieve good results in pre-IB? It's common, or the teachers will help you, and it's really about you to go from pre-IB to IB1?
Pre-IB also really matters. It's actually important for you because also the teachers, when you're in pre-IB, there's always the IB coordinator. They follow every student, so they can see your semester grades, your exam grades, and then they need to decide if they feel that you're actually prepared to IB. So I know some people that the IB coordinator didn't approve to IB1 as maybe as they thought that they are not capable to do it of their pre-IB grades. So they give the opportunity or to repeat pre-IB and get better grades. Or I know some people that ended up leaving so they finished pre-IB, but they didn't graduate to IB1.
To IB1, okay. That's great. Thank you. I think we cover a lot of topics, and I will stop the presentation. And what is your for 2025? What is your goals in Denmark? Studying, doing well on IB1. What changed in from last year to to this year? Are you thinking about already university? How is your mood these days?
So at the moment, I have some tests incoming. So
Mm-hmm.
economics, for example, I have a test on Monday. So I'm focusing now on studying
I'm
for that.
studying good.
I have some works to hand in for bio. Well, some more work than I would have last year, of course. Uh, I'm also keeping up with my friends from IB2 that they already getting closer to the deadline to apply for
Mm-hmm.
university, and I'm kind of getting to know what are people doing, what are the courses they're following with the subjects I have. So yeah, I
So you
think
are focused on the. You are happy in IB, I would say.
yeah,
It transpires from your comments, and I'm happy that we met one and
yeah,
a
and we
half
made
years
it
ago
happen.
or 2 years ago. I don't I don't remember, and I'm very happy always to talk with you and your parents here. Hi to your mother, your father, your little sister, if they are or will be
They
watching
they will.
this webinar in the future. Thank
Yeah,
you, Artur,
thank
and
you.
thank you a lot. And hopefully, we could shed some light and bring some information to new students that would be benefit from this fantastic experience as well. And here in your way, I'm happy to get your inquiries and arrange a meeting with you and your daughter or your son or your parents. It depends whom is watching this webinar. Thank you again, and hope you to see you in the near future. And bye bye for now.
Bye
Tchau,
bye.
Artur. Um abraço.
Um abraço.